Enochian.org back again, continuing on about meditation. So in the first one, I covered a bit about how to meditate, some methods, some things to try out, get it into your schedule, that sort of thing. Now I'm going to talk about a few basics of meditation that are often forgotten. So when you start to meditate a lot, when people do, quite often the energy focuses here in the head. And then you get all this, oh my God, this is amazing, this is awesome. And just think as some of the new age folks are like, fairies. Anyway, I should not be doing that. Anyway, yeah, so quite often the energy will focus in the head because we spend most of our time in our head thinking. Most professions these days are thought-based ones, are such things as programming, accounting, just a lawyer, whatever, just so many thought-based ones. And that's a lot of focus of today's time, and the reading, studying, education, etc. is very thought-based, very up in our heads. So with meditation, it's way too easy to have the energy raise up, 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 and then you have this amazing experiences. So the idea of meditation is not to get stoned, just saying. That's what your drugs are for if you do that. The idea of meditation is to be able to focus, bring your energy and yourself back into focus, and connect with other planes, and so forth and so on, and not have the constant thoughts distracting you. So one thing about meditation, what you want to do is focus your energy further down in what the martial artists call your lower dantian, which is, a couple finger lengths below your belly button. That's where your lower dantian is. So you can focus there, or focus on your legs, or just focus on your body. And then if the energy starts to raise up, 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 which you don't want to do, that causes things like Kundalini syndrome, etc., imbalance and whatever, if you feel the energy raising, you just kind of want to bring the energy back down. Now, how to bring the energy back down? Focus on the feet, focus on the legs, focus on the abdomen, just focus on your body. You can also physically, slowly bring it back down, like several of those, or bringing it down, whatever, just to bring it down, and a lot of focus on your feet. If when you're doing meditation you start to get migraines, that's because the energy is raising too much. That's not a good thing. That's unbalanced. You want the energy to be within your body. Another good way to stay grounded and keep the energy down during meditation is during non-meditation times to do a lot of hiking. Hiking, even walking works too. Hiking, walking, running, whatever. Skating, whatever. Just leg focus. Even if it's going to the gym, getting on the various exercise machines that require leg workouts, even that helps. Though out in nature is much better. Now, if you want to get really fancy and it's a decent time of year, sitting outside meditating is really good. Then you can, put the roots down into the ground and be rooted while you meditate. You can do that indoors as well. Works way better outdoors, but you can indoors get the roots down in your meditation. So you can meditate outdoors. You can do a lot of extracurricular activities which require physical activity with your legs. Those of you who have a very physical job with a lot of lifting or a lot of running up and down and moving around all day, that helps a lot. That's why a lot of people who work in trades are very grounded and don't get the chi deviations as much, or Kundalini syndrome, or whatever, the various names for these things that tend to happen. So, housework's good. Moving heavy boxes around is good. Okay, maybe not what you want to do on your days off, but really it does help. Okay, go hiking then. Just any of these things really help to keep you grounded. So when you meditate a lot, especially once you get up to that half an hour thing, you definitely want to keep up the physical activity, or you're going to have some imbalance happening in general. Or most people will. Most people that aren't working physical jobs will. Not everybody, always. There's exception to the rule, but in general, you have to keep the physical activity up and focused on your body. And remember that you're more than a head. We're far more than just up here or up here. We are a full physical body. So keep that in mind and keep yourself grounded with the various activities, and the rooting meditations help too. One example is when you're walking, just as a meditation, you can be sort of walking a few inches beneath the ground. Do this for a few minutes, see if it works for you. Now, with any and all of these that I'm suggesting, don't overdo them. If you start to feel a little unbalanced in general, or lightheaded, it's time to slow down or stop. If you start to have erratic thoughts and your friends start to think you're way off kilter, I mean, aside from maybe the Damon seals you wear or whatever, maybe check into that and slow down a little. If you do a little too much meditation, have too many experiences, sometimes the mind can have some problems. We've been trained to the ontological reality, right? And sometimes the mind, it's a little too much for the mind. So just slow down with your meditation or work or whatever. I know I said 5 minutes, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if that's going a little fast for you and you noticed too much lightheadedness, too many headaches, too much unbalance, slow down. Now, if you're starting to do things like skip too much work, skip too much family life, skip, too much of your mundane stuff, then you want to look into it and balance out and think about it and see how you're doing. Check in. You can also have a trusted friend, preferably that's a magician, and ask, how am I doing? Or ask them to alert you if you're going a little off key. Generally, when you're doing magic, we all reach points that are a little too much for us. And you can start to tell, you can start to feel it, and then usually ignore it and go, but I want to check this out. But you got to check in with yourself and keep track of that, and keep track of your life, and keep track of your physical mundane priorities. The mundane is just as important as the spiritual. Now, there's way too much focus on the mundane in this world, so when we do spiritual, sometimes we really go into it and really want to escape the physical. No. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be, bring the spiritual into the mundane. Bring the spiritual into the physical. And always create a balance and have a balance. That's why all systems have, yin yang, 2 pillars, whatever. It's all balance. Balance is the idea. So make sure to ground and center yourself, generally. Don't get too caught up in the awesome, amazing feelings in the other realms. Do that a bit. You want to explore a bit, but make sure you stay centered and balanced and keep track of what's going on and how you're doing. So perhaps check in with yourself once a week, once a month, and once a year to see, how am I doing compared to then? How is my life going? How are things going for me? In general, if your luck is starting to, you start meditating or whatever new practice, and your luck starts to go to shit. Now, our luck and our whatever goes to shit throughout our lives. Just goes up and down, generally. It's generally on the upswing, but sometimes we'll go up and down. So if you start to notice it going down a lot, check in to see, do a divination, whatever, to see if you're overdoing it in one realm instead of the other. So if your luck starts to go down, your money starts to go down, your health starts to go down, whatever, you always have to check to see if it is something to do with your practice. Now, don't get over paranoid. Oh my God, suddenly, I lost a $50 bill on the street. That's my meditation, I gotta stop. No, don't go overboard with it. Just analyze your life and how things are going over the month or whatever, compared to like last year, last month, and see, and you have to fine tune things. And then of course, divination's good too. Ask your spirits, whatever, just methods, ask your friends, just keep a balance up and see if it's a normal going up and down as life does, or is your practice causing some mayhem? Now, if your practice is causing mayhem, more grounding, that tends to settle out the mayhem, which is awesome. And I'll be back with another video soon enough. Thank you for watching and listening, and get meditating, but keep that balance up and keep that grounding. Remember your feet. www.Enochian.org. Comment, like, and share. Well, yeah. Talk to you soon.